can't. I want to do it on my own. I just, yeah.
I was pushed to the point that I had to start something not norm. And I'm a big risk taker and I enjoy doing things that nobody really does. I wanted something different from every other art form that has been pushed out there. I didn't have that fulfillment in what I was doing and I really wanted to express myself more as an artist, and I decided to resign and go into practicing art full time. I loved subjects that had illustrations or drawings in them. I just kept pushing it and went to the extent of studying art in school, so it's been art all my life for me. I try to conceptualize what I want to create in my head. Even in as much as scattered as it might be, I create it in my head first, then I put it on paper. I sketch, then I try to pick colors, and I proceed to the main piece. A friend of mine told me, like, there's really nothing that could be achieved with graffiti here. The piece behind me is titled Bold Steps. So I'm just trying to put my own as an abstract journey of African fashion has come so far. The word there is Ikeakpa. Ikeakpa is a Bini word for movement. So we are it's just a movement, and we have the shoes here, which shows the flow and the storm which the movement creates, while working. I'm Osa 7. I'm an African urban artist and design consultant.
Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on Plus TV Africa, please call 0906 000 5719 or 0909 040 8408, or send an email to marketing@plustvafrica.com. Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
A very good morning to you. You're welcome to the breakfast on Plus TV Africa.
Welcome. It's another Monday morning, the 18th, the day of December 2023. The year is winding down.
Yeah.
By the way, my name is Nyamgul Agaji.
My name is Rumeth Paulson.
Today is going to be a very wonderful day. It's always a wonderful day when you wake up, because you are waking up to a very, very brand new day. And no day is ever the same as the one that has passed. Yesterday has passed, today is the present. So let us make the best use of this present that God has given to us.
Yeah, with every new day comes new opportunities. So make the best of what you have. The opportunities that come in today, seize them. You know how they say, make hay while the sun shines?
Yeah.
But one thing,
this is our sun.
Ooh, let's talk about the weather.
when you call the sun and you remember the kind of sun we have, it's like it shines differently.
It's so hard.
We need to take this climate change thing really
Seriously, right.
Because if the ozone layer is depleting faster than we can evolve, because scientists tell us that there's evolution, so we can evolve and begin to adapt to the situation, hot sun, weather's changing and all that. But the evolution, the rate of evolution will be so slow. And if the ozone layer is destroyed in a very fast way, that means we could just become extinct like the dinosaurs.
Well, we pray that doesn't happen. But one thing I'm excited about today is the fact that it's 7 days to Christmas officially. So you know how there's been 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah,
Like I've been counting down the days. I'm like 7 days.
Okay.
This time next
To
week.
some people, it's yay. It's 7 days to Christmas. To some people, it's I don't die.
Well, I hope that's not the case for you this morning.
Yes.
Anyways, let's go to our top trending stories. We have our teasers, which is Serap sues INEC over failure to prosecute electoral offenders, and also we'll be discussing difficulties in mental health associated with corporate begging. But then let's go to our top trending stories for today, the ones that caught our attention. And one of the top trending stories this morning is the fact that 3 people were found dead and 7 others injured in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway accident. 3 people have died, with 7 others sustaining injuries in an accident involving 2 vehicles at the Corn Oil filling station axis on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Saturday. This was disclosed yesterday in a statement by the Ogun Sector Command of the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Florence Okwe, in Abeokuta, the state capital. According to Okwe, the incident occurred at 9:23 p.m. when a speeding Toyota Hiace bus with registration numbers LG lost control and collided with another trailer. The FRSC spokesperson also explained that 18 people, including 16 men and 2 women, were involved in the accident. Noting that the injured victims were taken to Idera Hospital, Shagamu, for medical attention, Okwe stated that the deceased were deposited at the morgue of the same hospital. On his part, the sector commander, Anthony Uga, urged motorists to consider this period of high vehicular movement and poor visibility due to weather conditions.
Yeah, I don't know. Our people are very impatient. Some of these accidents are avoidable. You know, everybody wants to overtake the other. I don't know whether that is how they judge themselves as being expert drivers or something. Someone will overtake you just to stop the next few yards. So why not just be patient for the person to pass, and then you go and park.
And at the end of the day, even though you're rushing so much, guess what? You're only going to save about 2 minutes. So why rush? Why rush to your deaths of times? Do you understand? Or even the deaths of others, because this is a collision between 2 vehicles, right? Something similar happened to me, I think about 2 weeks ago. I was coming from the expressway from the mainland, and the vehicle in front of me stopped abruptly. So obviously, I'm trying to
maybe to carry a passenger.
No. It was an SUV. But then I'm trying to be a defensive driver, so I tried to move the other way a little bit, and the person behind me just hit me right there. My bumper was half of it was being dragged on Third Mainland. But guess what? If I wasn't being defensive and I tried to move the other way, there would have been a double collision. So I would have hit the person head on. The person behind me would have hit me head on. And God forbid, I don't know if I'll be here today. But guess the reason why this happened? It was because a bus was trying to reverse on the expressway.
Just like that.
Why would you even do that?
Impatience it's killing us. It's killing a lot of people, especially in this Lagos. Some people will run across the road when vehicles are coming just to wait on the other side to stop a bus. And I call Lagos a 5-minute city. That being that whatever you need, you'll find in the next 5 minutes. You need a pedestrian walkway. It's just 5 minutes away. You need even traffic to be so much so that you can walk leisurely across the road. Just 5 minutes away. Everything in Lagos is 5 minutes away. So why are you even rushing? I just don't understand. Some people feel to show that I'm in Lagos, I have arrived, I have to rush. You know, Lagos is on fast forward and all that.
Even running to get buses. I remember when I was much little, you see people actually jumping on mole buses and stuff. It's ridiculous. And I think at the end of the day, we really need to, our lives matter. Your life matter. And others around you as well. You can't just, be moving swiftly, rushing somewhere else. And the person, you're not even thinking of the safety of the other people, the other passengers on the road as well. You should save your lives and you should save your life and save the lives of others as well.
What they say in traffic is that as you're driving your car, you're driving the cars of others as well. So you'll be thinking, what would that person do that I may or may not like?
There's a saying they say all the drivers in Lagos are mad.
Yeah, but
so think they are mad people and you're
yes.
the same one, so you're trying to navigate for everyone.
So another thing that makes people do what they're doing here in Nigeria is it's not my portion kind of thing, and then you're blaming the other person, your uncle, your innocent uncle or auntie in the village is the one, village people are coming after you. FRSC will always tell you that this period is very unsafe. Don't overload, don't overspeed. I'm not a scientist, all that, but I do know that now that the air is lighter, everything is lighter, even your car speeding will be more. So don't think the way your car used to swerve in the rainy season will still be the same way that it will do at this time. So just be careful with whatever you're doing. Don't overspeed because everywhere is dry, everywhere is moving, there's no obstructions on the road and all that. Must we put speed bumps on every corner of our roads before we can break you down?
That's so sad. Anyways, our condolences to the families of the people who lost their lives, and
they rest in peace.
They rest in peace. Okay. Another story that caught our attention is Cambridge announces Nigerian professor as 7th president. The University of Cambridge has announced the professor of pharmaceutical nanoscience Ijeoma Uchegbu as the 7th president of Wolfson College, one of its 31 colleges to succeed the current president, Professor Jane Clark, on October 1, 2024. This was made known in a statement on the university's website. Uchegbu is known for her groundbreaking work in nanoparticle drug delivery. The Nigerian professor currently lectures at the University College London. Professor Uchegbu is currently a professor of pharmaceutical nanoscience at University College London. Her pioneering work on the mechanisms of drug transport has led to the development of new treatments which promise to transform pain relief, including enkephaline pain medicine candidate and Velta, designed to address the opioid crisis. Her work has won her numerous awards, fellowships, and accolades as she holds positions on several academic boards and councils, including the Wellcome Trust, the Academy of Medical Sciences, and is an honorary fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry. As Vice Provost for Africa and the Middle East at UCL, she played a leading role in forging new research partnerships in those regions as UCL's Provost Envoy for Race Equality. She also helped steer the institution's race equality agenda. In a reaction to the news, Uchegbu said, "I am so thrilled to be joining Wolfson College, an ambitious and forward-thinking college." Uchegbu was raised in the southeast Nigeria and Hackney. She completed her pharmaceutical studies in the University of Benin in 1981 before attending the University of Lagos to obtain her master's degree. After returning to the UK, she studied postgraduate work at the University of London, earning a PhD in 1997 and worked as a lecturer at the University of Strathclyde from 2002 to 2004. That's really commendable. I mean, I love it when Nigerians are winning and taking giant strides. This is an inspiration to other women and even men in general, everyone in general, that whatever you set your mind to, you can achieve it. And it doesn't matter whether you're in Nigeria or you're in Afghanistan.
I like the fact that she studied in Benin and then Lagos.
Yes, and Lagos.
Because
and moved
that's
over
the foundation. But at the time she studied in Benin and Lagos, the educational standard, I'm sure, was a little bit better. So why can't we return to those days? And as we hurry in Nigeria, we like when people achieve, we applaud them and say they are Nigerians. And I ask myself, if she were in Nigeria, would she have the same opportunities? Because I saw a very disturbing and very, I don't know how, nation-killing trend during the election where people were asked to go back to where they belong. Nigeria is our country, and there are some people who were born and raised in Lagos, and then you're telling them they're not Lagos enough, even when their parents or some of their parents were from here, and you're telling them that they're not Lagos enough. Lagos, that used to be a place we used to say people can thrive here no matter where you come from and all that, and
Land of
everybody
opportunities.
began to say it doesn't belong to you, it doesn't belong to you. So this is a Nigerian, even if he has a green card or any other thing that makes her a citizen of that country, she still is a Nigerian. And I'm asking myself, if that college were in Lagos or in Ibadan or something, would she have become president? I saw also at a time in Cross River State where an attorney general was supposed to be appointed. It was her time to become that. She rose through the hierarchy of the law profession anyhow, and it was her time. She's married to a Cross Riverian, and she's from Akwa Ibom State, and they said she's not an indigene.
What?
And it took them like 6 months or more before they could confirm her to be what she was supposed
That's
to
ridiculous.
be. And it was really annoying, really depressing for anybody who knows that a nation cannot be built. Any community, in short, cannot be built with only the citizens of that community.
Yes.
There is no community that is fast moving, fast growing, that is developed by only the people that are from there. I have not seen one.
Yeah, because when you're getting other people to come in, they're coming with fresh ideas. They're coming with different cultures. You have like a variety of things, and that is the spice of life, we like to say. So you can't just say it has to be one person or one indigene. You should have other people that would come and spice things up.
Yeah.
And anyways, I'm really happy for her. I'm happy that she's making giant strides, and it's an inspiration to me and many others.
For every other Nigerian, just know that wherever you go, you can thrive, you can flourish, you can make us proud. No matter how many years she has lived there, now we can still beat our chest and say she's Nigerian.
She's Nigerian.
So when you go out there, be an ambassador to Nigeria, no matter what you're doing.
Yes. Okay, and the last top trending story this morning is Mr. Olatubosun Oyutiloye, a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress APC in Osun State, has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to urgently intervene in the hike on prices of essential drugs in the country. Oyutiloye, who made the appeal while speaking with newsmen on Sunday in Osogbo, said that many Nigerians were currently unable to access most essential drugs due to the extreme high prices. He said the escalating prices of the drugs could be attributed to a combination of factors, which include the withdrawal of GSK, a major player in the pharmaceutical industry, and the high rate of inflation in devaluation of Naira. Oyutiloye said that the factors, among others, have made prices of drugs such as amlodipine, augmentin, paracetamol, Exforge, Coartem, and other essential drugs to become unaffordable for the common man. According to him, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has revealed that the value of medicines imported to Nigeria rose by 68% to 81.8 billion between July and September. Oyutiloye, a former lawmaker, said the surge in the prices of the drugs had placed a significant financial strain on individuals and families already struggling with a harsh economy. When the local currency weakens against foreign currencies, the expenses incurred in procuring these essential medical supplies rise, consequently driving up the overall prices in medicines in the country.
I'm just going to laugh. I don't know what the president will do. He can't do anything, except he's going to give us palliatives in drugs, or he's going to give subsidy in drugs, which I don't think is the way to go. The subsidy, we know that cut across all sectors, has been removed. The dollar or the naira against the dollar, which we know that that's what we do international trade with, is
and we
bastardized.
do a lot of importation.
Yes. So these are the basic things. If these things cannot be corrected, and then there's insecurity as well. If these things cannot be corrected, there's no way the president is going to intervene. Will he buy paracetamol for every household, or buy get a central place where people can access paracetamol for free?
Well, I think that's where healthcare comes in, because I mean, in other countries, I remember when I was in uni in the UK, I could go to the GP and gives me like drugs for free, certain drugs. So things like paracetamol should be free.
You will see that politicians will take cartons and cartons and keep and be giving us palliative. So it will not work, because if all these things are put in place, the basic things that make life meaningful to Nigerians are put in place, nobody would need the government to do anything about drugs and all that. Companies will come because there is security, the dollar is stable, or the naira is stable, and then we have fuel that is running every business, or at least power.
Stable
that is
power.
stable. If we have all these things, if you go to Ghana, for instance, and you're subscribing, or you're recharging your phone, the amount of time you will use, maybe 1,000 naira worth of airtime, is like double or triple of what you will do in Nigeria, because they have steady power. Now, all the service providers in Nigeria are factoring in the diesel that they have to buy, everything that they need to do. That's why our tariffs are so high. So put those things in place. Companies will come. You don't need to globetrot before you can get investors to come into Nigeria. When they come to Nigeria, they don't even know whether they are going to make money. Tomorrow the dollar is skyrocketing. Tomorrow is somewhere, it's not stable and all that. There's no security. Their companies could be burnt anytime. And then you're telling them to come to Nigeria.
You're asking foreign investors to come in. Meanwhile, the ones you have here are leaving. We're talking about GSK leaving. Other companies are also leaving as well. So have you made your economy stable enough that these people can come and thrive? Doing business in Nigeria, people say, is quite tasking. You're not even sure of getting your money back, returns on investment. But then you still want to go out and ask people to come. So why would someone want to come to a harsh economy whereby they're not sure if they can make their money back? So I think what we need to do is make sure that we stabilize the economy, one. Make sure that, those double taxation, just make it more appealing for people to say, okay, I want to come and invest in Nigeria. We're seeing other countries like even Ghana, people are investing there. You're seeing companies go there.
I see very soon companies doing the Lagos Ogun thing. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you go to Ogun State, every corner of Ogun State, there are companies. When you think about companies in the southwest, you'll find them in Ogun State, because there is market in Lagos, but Lagos, the taxation and everything is so much so that they would prefer to be in Ogun and then target the Lagos market. So I see a situation where all those companies, knowing that there's the market in Nigeria, will be situating themselves in countries close to Nigeria. They will go to Ghana, they will go to Benin, go to Togo, go to other places, knowing that it's going to be easy to get to Nigeria and all that. And then we are losing it. We're losing everything. So if they don't put things in order, we will be more or less begging. We'll be the part of the people they're calling corporate beggars, like one of the topics that we're talking about it this morning. And then today, like every other day, a lot of people are trekking.
Yeah, we're having a conversation.
A lot of people are trekking. Like before we came on air, how so many people were giving us testimonies of people trekking from the island. Some of them are going as far as Yanokbaja. When will you get there? When will you come back? So at this point, we may not say raise the salaries of people, because companies are also struggling. Well. Yes, but at least you can make provisions for these people. Whoever cannot go home every day because of the transportation should at least have a place to sleep.
Yeah, welfare should come in.
Yes, let them at least have a place to sleep. So if every company will have, maybe 2 companies come together, get an accommodation that is hostel-like, whatever you can do, but let people who can stay back and just keep some money. You're paying someone, even if it's 150,000, how much will you pay
for transport?
Yes, before you come. And if you have a car, you will have to be a partial transporter, so that in the morning you're coming to work, you are like, island.
Yeah, that's the only way you can afford.
And then even then, how much will you take if you take from, I always use Bega because that's where I know, if you go from Bega to the island, 1,000 naira, and you have a car that will take 4 people, that's 4,000 naira. That's less than 8 liters of fuel.
Yeah.
So how long will that take you?
It doesn't even do anything.
So whatever it is, so to the people that can sleep, let there be accommodation for them. Or you get a company vehicle that will be dropping them wherever they're going to, because people are suffering. They have to be at work, and they also have to be at home, and they have to feed others. So it's really difficult.
Someone was saying that how do you even save in an economy like this? I mean, our parents, well, my parents, their generation, you see that they have like civil jobs, right? And then they're able to save and build houses and buy cars. Like, how do you even save for all of that in this economy?
Piggy banks now have keys. You know,
You open it.
you know the local piggy banks we used to have in those days just had a small straight line.
Yeah,
you
and the padlock thing.
Yeah, you don't even padlock it. You nail it,
Ooh,
and
that's
then
true.
you just put the money, whatever it is, till maybe at the end of the year. Now it is padlocked, so that anytime
You can easily open it and
You can
like,
open
I
it
need to
and-
save myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to save money, I need to save myself.
Yes, yes. Even though in those days you could still take broomstick and remove it when it's so difficult. But now it's easier. So you cannot save. It's not possible to save. How much will you earn? Even if you're earning 500,000 naira and you have a car, you will end up maybe spending like 400,000 naira on the car. Or, you know, it depends on where you're coming from.
300, yeah.
You've not talked
Well,
about your
rent.
utility bills, your rents, your school fees if you have children, even
Feeding.
if feeding and all that.
Food
You've
is
not
so
said
expensive. I mean, we're talking about it on the newspaper review. Was it last week? We're talking about how a basket of tomatoes now is about 100,000. Rice is about 60-something thousand. The prices are ridiculous, and like we said, I'm not sure if the president can do anything on this food, drugs, and all of that. But any way you can cushion the effects on people, I think that would be great.
Bring back subsidy.
Bring back. Okay, we'll go on a quick break and we'll just look at the weather. And when we return, we'll be having conversations on the national dailies this morning. Stay with us.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the Babin, I pay my rent. From the Babin, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing for people to be at your back and the heat of the moment, and another thing for them to still be with you when push comes to shove.
Thank you for staying with us. It's time for After Press. We'll be looking at what the national dailies are saying this morning. And joining us to review the papers is Dr. Ambrose Igboke, Chairman Guild of Public Affairs Analyst of Nigeria, Enugu State Chapter. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the show this morning.
Yes, compliments of the season to you.
Same here. Same here.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start with Nature News today, and the major headline here says, how 6,000 farmers lost seedlings produce to Lagos flooding, says NEMA. So we're hearing, first, we have this shortage in food supply. People are not able to move their produce to the market. And right now we're looking at the Nature News because we're trying to decipher what's going on basically. So people are not able to move their produce to the market. And now we're hearing that even the seedlings are being lost. What is your thoughts on this one?
Well, the impact of this is going to be felt more by next year. As we all know, in agriculture, seedling means that the seeds that you use to plant for the next season. So the harvest for this year has been concluded. We might not feel it, but by this time next year, we'll feel the bite of what has just happened. Because seedlings is the thing that you use to plant for the next farming season. So having lost that means that there will be negative impact on the output of farmers next year. However, Nigeria has been grappling with adequate storage facilities or adequate even seedlings. The agricultural ministries from the federal level, even towards some World Bank assisted projects, have been trying to see how they could improve and enhance capabilities of farmers and capacities to store, produce and seedlings. Knowing this, I don't know if NEMA did not, disaster management or other agencies that are responsible, whether they need to warn the farmers about the impending flooding. And then also what the Lagos state government did with them. Because these things could be avoided. I don't know why they should allow farmers store their seedlings when they know the flood is coming. So some of those things that could be avoided should try to be avoided so that they don't plunge the country into an agricultural or food crisis situation. These things are avoidable. And so we should be more proactive rather than reactive in the things we do in this country.
So what does that mean for us now? Because first we're talking about fuel subsidy being removed. We're talking about shortage in food supply as of right now. And then next year, that means there might be no food. So does this mean there's a possible famine lurking?
Well, there are ways you can stop the gap. The seedlings that were lost, the federal government can ensure that the farmers get back their seedling through a process where the farmers can be given back free seedlings, or even provided for them on maybe on a credit, on deficit basis, so that when they plant their farmer, give back the seedlings. So while we lost seedlings, doesn't mean that we can just leave the farmers like that without materials to plant. So farmers government can encourage them by even giving them maybe twofold of what they have lost, and then give them the necessary things like fertilizers, the tractors, and some other things to help them so that we will suffer famine. It is only when we don't act that we can suffer. But when we act accordingly, especially proactively, then we won't do that. So now that we know that there is disaster in that area, especially in that southwest houses through Lagos, we can, the Lagos state government or in conjunction with the federal government, could do quickly rally around the farmers and supply, bringing you food from China and bringing food from everywhere. That is always the check approach that we're playing in this country. So it is now time to plan. Disaster has happened, and you know that this disaster will affect food output next year. Start now and try to remediate whatever that has happened so that food shortage won't happen next year. That is how serious countries plan. And I think we can do that. It's not a rocket science.
What strategy are we going to use? Because when the former president Jonathan was here, he had a minister, Akiomi, that is now the African Development Bank chairman. And he had a strategy where everything that was given from the federal got to the farmers. I can say that because I know in my remote village where we have farmers, they could have their farm inputs, fertilizers, herbicides, and everything that they needed. When the next government came, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, they jettisoned that system. And also this president has come. There's nothing regarding that, how things should move from the federal to the local farmers, which means it might still be like the palliatives, that we are finding palliatives that are ready-made food that people should get and feed themselves are being hoarded by politicians and used for their birthday souvenirs and so many other things that are really annoying. How do you think the federal government, what kind of strategy do you think they can use to make sure that these things that need to get to the farmers so that they can start to produce what we need for next year can get to them? What is the best way to go?
Well, you have said it. It's not, as I've said earlier, it's not something that have not been done. We are not even, you just cited an example. The example you cited is not what happened in India or what happened in Rwanda or what happened in the United States of America. The example you cited is actually what happened here in Nigeria. So we have done it, something we did 10 years ago. We cannot even replicate it. Some things we did 40 years ago. We cannot even continue with this. Things we did 50 years ago. We cannot even do it now. So that means there is a kind of, we are progressing towards retrogression. That's what is happening in this country. Because if we cannot even run an efficient system, we ran more than almost half a decade ago, half a century ago, and then we come to this 2023. We are. So that means we are operating as if we're in the 1920s or 1930s. Because if we cannot even replicate the things we did in 1960s and 70s. So we have said it all. Additional is still there. He's still very active. Jonathan is still there. He's still very active. So whatever it is worth, secretaries, the directors, the staff of the Federal Ministry of Agri, some of them that were part of this process are still there. So why can't it work? What Additional did was to buy these cheap phones, these very cheap phones for them, for farmers, distributed it across the country. And then you get text message directly from the Ministry of Agri telling you that your fertilizer is here, this and that. And then by the time you go, they tell you where to pick it up. You pick it up and you acknowledge it, and that is it. It went directly, and there's those reports where where the feedbacks and everything were controlled in a central system where everybody could see that even that your village that somebody got it and he had responded that he got it, and so those kind of things cut off the middlemen. And then was able to go straight to the farmers, and you could see the impact. There was a serious economic boom that period. Farming was very sweet to the farmers, and they were able to bring out a lot of output. But who are the middlemen? The middlemen basically are the public office holders, the politicians, even the civil servants are part of it. And so these things, we know them, and then it is about the will. It's about the body language. So it's about the will of whoever is in charge. It's about the will of the president. It's about whoever in charge. So that it works. If the president is not ready to put his feet on ground to ensure that these things happen well, then it won't happen.
Okay, I want to look at something else here in Nature News, and this says Nigeria will achieve port automation integration by 2025, says NPA, which is the Nigerian ports authorities. So I know they're saying they want to do the ports automation, but how achievable is this? They're claiming that 2 weeks of work would be done in a couple of hours. But is this achievable for us? Do we have the technology right now? I know 2025 seems like a long time, which is in 2 years, but we're almost in 2024. Are you sure that we can get there before 2025?
The Nigerian ports and then its authority that is running it are disgraceful. I mean, it's a shame of the century. For even the Nigerian ports to come tell us that he's trying to do it and announcing it and calling press conference and reporting it to you, it's shameful. I mean, we have lost sense of shame in this country. The NPA board, actually in 2023, you are talking about port automation. Port automation was supposed to happen for many years ago. They who are there are the ones frustrating it. I mean, small countries like Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic, and some of these countries. Let's leave Europe and the United States out of it. We are talking about our African countries. They are operating efficient port systems. Now, it takes you. Somebody was doing analysis the other time about export of yam tubers to Europe. In Nigeria, it will take you 75 days. To move from the time you bring your yams, tubers of yam, to the ports, to move it 75 days because of manual, because of multiple agencies inspecting it, because of all kinds of bureaucracies, because of corruption and all kinds of things. Meanwhile, in Benin Republic, it takes 5 days to move the same thing. So we are losing, even Nigerians are using the port of SMA, are using the border ports to bring in goods. Some of them are going to Togo. So something is fundamentally wrong, and we know it. So there won't be any automation because the corrupt system will not allow it to be automated. So it is left for, I keep on saying that to this federal, critical federal infrastructure and agencies, the president needs to put his feet on ground. We cannot allow civil servants and people who are running this system who are gaining from the corrupt system and from the manual system to rubbish us. If we have, look at what we did in the banking sector, where we just went almost fully digital, that sector. A lot of sectors have gone digital. Even the licensing of your car documents and the plate numbers and some of these things have gone digital. You do this auto sends you message and the rest. Look at Lagos, when you commit a traffic offense now, they send it. Many things are going to teach you. These things that are even more complicated. Port is not complicated. It's an international trade. Other countries the integration has happened in other serious countries. It's all for us to just plug in and then make sure our own system is integrated. But they won't make it integrated. They won't make it digital because they are getting from the corruption, from the manual process, which is rife with corruption. So the NPA should spare us these security risks and just ensure that our ports are integrated. Why 2025? These things can take place under 1 month. The technology is there. All you need is integration. Call a consultant, IT experts to do this. It's not rocket science. We can digitize our ports in February. You can start running it by March. So this 2025 is what? For you to steal more money or what? So please, this is not the kind of news we want to be hearing. We want to hear that Nigerian ports have been fully digitized. Not that we'll digitize the ports in 2025. Who are you telling those kind of stories? And I don't blame them. Nigerians don't react to this kind of things. They know we are seems to be at home with inefficiency. So the NPA boss or whoever is saying that should just spare us those dramas.
Okay, let's move to the Nation newspaper. The leading headline is Lalong resigns from FEC. That is the former or the Minister of Labour and Employment has decided to go and take the position of a senator for the Plateau South senatorial district. I don't know what you think about that.
I think that was a smart move. The ministerial appointment is the minister is an appointment, and tomorrow the president can sack you, and then you go back, to wherever you are. So, but the senatorial seat is an elective position, which we won, which is a political, people have voted for you. So it is safer. When we talk of job security, the Senate is safer. Being a senator is safer than being a minister, because as a minister, you can be asked to leave anytime. And so when I read that news, I was like, oh, at last. And so we are waiting for other ministers to do the same. People are holding two positions, and they are waiting for the highest courts to declare. So we are waiting for someone like Dave Umahi to also do the same thing. He's a minister and he's a senator. So we are not running a parliamentary system of government where you can be where the ministers are from the parliament. This is a presidential system of government where the ministers are different from the parliamentarians.
My concern, sir, Doctor, is the fact that these ministers, as you have mentioned some of them, it seems as if they were not appointed because of what is happening. They were not appointed based on merit, based on their capabilities. They were appointed as a consolation that they lost in their senatorial district. So come and just hold the fort until you are declared winner in your senatorial district and you can go. Because if Nigeria needs them, in the capacity the president chose them, I should have thought that maybe patriotism and confidence in themselves that they will deliver and not be sacked at any moment will make them stay. For instance, you have the chief of staff. He won. He was a former speaker of the House of Representatives, and he left it and came to take up the responsibility of chief of staff of the president. So ministerial position being used as stopgap for people to just stand there, continue earning money until they are declared by the courts that they won in the senatorial districts, it disturbs me somehow.
Well, you are the one said that the ministerial position was kind of a placeholder for them to see if they will win at the courts in their senatorial bid. You are the one said that it's a placeholder. Well, I don't think the president thought that it was a placeholder. There are Nigerians and there are politicians, and they're qualified for the position. So I don't share your view. The president appointed them as ministers, and then they won their case at the courts. By the time they were being appointed minister, remember that someone like Lalong was not a senator because he was not declared winner. So while he was there doing that, he was not a senator. So it was someone like Dave Umahi who can be talking about, saying that he was a senator, although the case is still in court and the rest. So somebody like that is what you want. Somebody like that is what we'll talk about. You have to choose which one do you want to do. All of them are serving the nation. So if you are a minister, you are serving the country. If you're a senator, you are serving the country. If you are House of Reps, you are serving the country. So whatever